Well, hello there, Dippers, and welcome back to Ducks on the Pond podcast, the official MLB podcast of Sauce on the Side. Dippers, we are finally here. This may be the last podcast that we have this show, and if that is the case, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. As always, Dippers, I'm your host, Drake, joined by the man, the producer, Leighton Pip Shaventone.
108 outs, a whole lot of outs.
And joining us, our guest host, he is officially done cleaning the pipes from last week for the Fantasy 15, Lex, the meat stud, Glasgow.
Machado knows how to step on some ankles, don't he?
That was possibly the most ridiculous thing you can do in the postseason. We'll talk about that. We'll break down the NLCS. We'll talk about the ALCS. And guys, we're going to give you a little preview of what we expect in the World Series. But before we do any of this, Leighton C., producer, you know what to do.
Hey, Ducks on the Pond here, kid. Ducks on the Pond. Let's go now, baby. Drive 'em in. Welcome to Ducks on the Pond.
A Sauce on the Side production. Alright, guys, so we'll start it off hot and heavy. Probably the series that made Coach C cry himself to sleep. The ALCS. Red Sox. Absolutely destroy the Astros. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm going to stick the flag in the sand. They destroyed them. Beat them.
4 straight.
Yeah, 4 straight. It seems like the Red Sox have done that before, haven't they, Leighton?
Seems like it. A few times.
I feel like they have done that before.
I think
I think they've definitely done that before.
Let's fetch it real quick.
Yeah, at least once, I think.
Yep, they have.
Maybe some Johnny Damon hair flowing.
Possible.
You're now down 3-0, win 4 straight,
Yeah.
and sweep the Cardinals in the fucking World Series.
Yep.
I can tell you what they didn't do that year.
What didn't
Have
they do?
David Price win baseball games.
They did not.
They did
Price.
Dude, How
Yeah.
awesome was that? Leighton was Leighton, in case you guys aren't familiar with this, Leighton is the ultimate pessimistic Red Sox fan. And after they lost the first game, I looked at Leighton and I said, "You guys are going to win game 2." "No, we're not. There's no way." I said, "You guys will win game 2 just for the simple fact that whenever you first saw David Price pitch for his first full season and you saw how good he was, there is no way possible that anybody would have ever thought he'd have lost his first 10 postseason outings. So therefore, he was due.
He was due to win one.
David Price was the ultimate. He was due to finally win one.
Yeah. And watching the starting games today, not game 2, game 7, we went 6 innings, no runs. It's really here playing with house money. Okay, everything came right here and suck, so I'm just going to come here and not suck. Why I have to lose right now?
Yeah, and I know I was actually watching game 2 with Lex, and whenever he got out of that first inning, he put his hand over his heart and was acting like a heartbeat.
I think that was a terrible sign. You don't
Yes.
show that if you're a pitcher. You're like, oh my god, I've sucked in the postseason. I got through. Okay, we're
Yes,
gonna do something. You don't do that. You walk to the dugout like nothing even happened.
That's not, no.
Could you imagine having it so wrapped up in your head that you are just excited to get through one inning? You were that excited to get through one inning. And as soon as that happens, Lex goes, "That's not good." And I'm like, "No, that's not. This guy's supposed to be your number 2, and he's out here just happy to make it through an inning." No. David Price in Game 5 is the David Price we expect to see. And that's what David Price should have as his standard. Whenever he's walking off the mound after just throwing a gem, we'll call it postseason gem, and he just walks off, I would be okay with that. Okay, I'm back in the saddle.
Not one inning though.
Yes,
That's
one
bad.
inning.
Yeah, man, that's okay. Game 5, though. As soon as Game 4 ended, and he threw 1,000 pitches in the bullpen, and he celebrated a celebration after that win, I was like, okay, tomorrow night he's got this. I would not even notice going into Game 5, probably could be up 3-1, probably because I'm just we win this game. Astros are toast. And I was so incredibly unimpressed by the Astros in this series. It seemed like every time they needed a big hit, it wasn't George Springer, they just didn't get it.
Yeah.
They're not Marvin Gonzalez. Alex Bregman was 0 for 9 and left 9 at bat. He had 1 walk.
Yeah, I feel like Marwin Gonzalez and Springer are the only 2 people that really rose to the occasion.
In Bregman's career, there were 4 occasions where he had 6 plate appearances and no hits or 1 on base. And that is one of those 3 games of Game 5.
The Red Sox do have an unsung hero in this series, though. Joe Kelly. I think he pitched about 5 or 6 complete games in the bullpen out there.
Yes.
Because every time I looked up during those games, Joe Kelly is warming up, and the announcer's saying, well, Joe Kelly's been up for a while now. Are they going to put him in the game? What's going to happen?
It's like in case
I
of
was looking
emergency.
for it, man.
You know, like that box with the glass on it, where you just like when stuff gets really really bad, you just break the glass and you hit the button. That's Joe Kelly.
That is Joe Kelly. They had him ready, and then I watched him warmed up for like 5 innings, saying, all right, he's going to come in now, and the next thing you know, they bring in Kimbrel out of nowhere who hadn't warmed up at all. I was like, okay.
You know what I think it kind of was? I think that they were keeping him warm up, moving around. That way, in case a fight broke out, they knew that Joe Kelly would be warm and he could run out and just unleash haymakers.
Game 4, I would have thought I was going to die. During that 6-out Kirk Kimbrel save with bases loaded, I could feel I had chest pain. Like, I could feel my heart struggling to pump blood.
I think we need to just go ahead and have a heart rate monitor on Leighton during
Yes.
the whole game. Have him set up with a heart rate monitor and blood pressure thing.
Like, it got to the point where I'd mute the TV, look at the corner of my house, kind of like I can't see him throw the pitch to Bregman anymore.
Dude, what
And then I
about
turn around and Bregman lines one. I just fall to the floor like, you gotta be kidding me. And then Benintendi, from the grace of God, this guy catches this ball, rebuking him being a plant. I still miss the hair, but I got the hair for him now.
For those of you that do not know about Leighton or have never seen Leighton, he has grown out the hair like Benintendi all season long.
yes? You know what's funny?
Someone had to get it back for him.
Leighton's actually his bit emoji on Snapchat. I was scrolling
Yes.
through there one day, and I'm like, holy shit, I have Andrew Benintendi as my friend? No,
that's
it's just
Leighton.
Leighton C's Bitmoji. I'm pretty sure he just modeled it off of
Yes.
Benintendi.
There's no way he did not
Well, I
do
see
that.
Benintendi shaved the head. I was like, well, someone has to have hair on this team this year.
Yeah, you know what's funny, Lex? Leighton looked at me after they won Game 5, and he said, so are we a lot better than what I give us credit for? I said, yes, you guys are the best team in baseball. You guys might be the best team of our lifetime. Like, you have a great team.
We're still gonna lose the games in 5 games.
I don't know.
Very pessimistic about this series. I have a lot of faith. Dodgers have a lot of good righties. We lefty pitcher. I don't like it.
We'll talk. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the Dodgers. So, Dodgers ended up winning in 5 or in 7. Pretty good series, honestly.
It was in 7 games. I'd say it's probably a pretty good
Yeah,
series.
and it was odd too. I mean, we saw the Dodgers or Craig Counsell do what he had done to the Cardinals earlier in the season. Well, actually, in the regular season, where he puts a guy out there to start, throws to one batter, takes him out, and then basically just tricks the whole team, tricks the whole other team. You think you're getting one thing, you set your lineup for it. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys like that move or hate that move?
I think from like a strategic move, it's a good move.
Oh, it's a great move.
But if you're a fan of the game, wanting to watch the game, you don't like that because that just sets up for a lot of changes in a long baseball game.
Yeah, I'm really curious about because how did Ray Miley prepare for this game? Did he prepare like he would for a start, or did he prepare like he was going exactly to throw to one batter?
I would imagine it'd be for one batter because he came back the very next game and threw.
Yeah, I was gonna say because they could wait on.
You can't go through that.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like this movie we might not see by anybody else again, but it's really odd to see it.
I can guarantee that Wade Miley warmed up more than Luis Severino.
I probably for more than 8 minutes for sure.
Yeah. I like it because in the world of analytics, where these guys put so much strategy into who's going to play against what pitcher, they have like full hit charts on everybody. What have we done against Wade Miley in the past? You set your lineup for that, and then all of a sudden, you're not getting that, and you're getting something completely different. I absolutely love that approach. Overall, do you guys think that the Dodgers are the better team?
It's tough because they did have better pitchers, but I feel like the Brewers, 1 through 9, 1 through 8, whatever, have definitely had the more loaded batting.
I think it's actually a pretty fairly even lineup up and down the order. I mean, you look at some of the guys that the Dodgers have, you go, oh my God, these guys can go off at any good time. You look at some of the guys that the Brewers have, they can go off at the thing. The thing that set it up was the starting pitching. I mean, starting pitcher majorly for the Dodgers in that series. I mean, Kershaw, I think he kind of put the thing to rest a little bit about his narrative in that last game where he pitched, 7 strong, gave up 1 run with like 8 Ks.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. He just wasn't playing the Cardinals, so he did good.
No kidding. And you know what I think? I think that if you're the Brewers and you feel like you have to trick them with your starting pitching, you obviously have a huge hole in your lineup. Like, after the trade deadline, all of us were sitting here saying, like, hey, are you guys not going to get a starting pitcher? Like, and I think that this finally caught up to him, you know? Like, could you ever imagine the Red Sox doing that with Chris Sale, David Price, or Evaldi?
I can't imagine doing it with any pitcher. I can't imagine, before that, I can't imagine any team doing it with any pitcher other than Kevin Manager right now, who throws Sergio Romo 3 straight starts for one batter. Like, that's a bullpen game thing, not a freaking thing you do in the NLCS.
Well, I think that it was just like trying to trick them. You know how, like, if your team's not as good as another team, you'll throw in some trick plays. You'll have the onside kick. I mean, like Purdue yesterday, they had 4 or 5 trick plays just to beat Ohio State. And I feel like whenever you know that you are outmatched man to man, you do that kind of stuff, especially whenever it is your starting pitching. I feel like this was like the ultimate trick play for starting pitchers.
It's just a football memory of this. 2 occasions I can think of off my head where a player played injured and I knew one thing was going to happen. When Larry Fitzgerald was peak Larry Fitzgerald with Kurt Warner, he played with a bad hamstring or bad knee. He was out there on all the snaps, but only ran comeback routes just to make the defense cover him. So, and then back in like the 8 or 7 when Earl Campbell couldn't see, he got out there, they faked the ball to him to make the team respect it. So in the same kind of way there,
Gronk.
They had this.
How many times have we seen Gronk be a statue? Yes.
Every game.
That's a lot. I will say this is setting up for the bane of Leighton's existence, this series coming up. I told him this earlier. Manny Machado wins that World Series MVP, then signs with the Yankees.
Oh my goodness, dude. That would be the worst thing
the end
ever.
of Leighton.
Manny Machado.
What do you guys think about that?
Manny Machado's a dick.
Yes.
Like, why do that? Like, there's no reason to do that. Like, the base is definitely bigger than your foot. Why do it? Why? He done that shit his entire career. He's always been a dirty son of a bitch. 2 years ago, last season, he had dirty son of a Pedroia spiked him out of the knee. I don't care what anybody says. You can see it on tape. He picked it up in his freaking cleat and poked through in the knee. We'll play 2 games this year because of it.
And you look what he did to Aguilar, man. Like, that was just completely uncalled for. I actually said this week on Twitter. I think he's just mad at the world because he has the same ears as Sloth off the Goonies.
Yeah. And you see what he said after game 2 or 3? Hustling isn't his thing.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, dude, you're trying to get paid $300 million this offseason. Nobody can give you money if you're an asshole.
The way that I look at sports fights and, like doing stuff in sports is just, like, dirty. If you wouldn't do that to Jesus Aguilar at a bar, don't do it in a baseball game.
Yeah, well, no, after the game he said, oh, no, we're buddies out, just kidding around. Like, no, motherfucker,
You're kidding around, like the dude's limping around the baseball diamond, like you could have potentially hurt him.
I think, well, like, here's how to play it off. Like, he slowed up and then kicked him. Like, he's just sprinted through it, okay, he's hustling. But no, he doesn't hustle.
Like, if you're going to mess with a guy, like, the thing that I can completely think of is Javier Baez with the hug on Nolan Arenado in the wild card game.
That's a good strategy.
Like, that's just like, buddy, like, not a dirty play. Like, it's just, and like, Arenado hugging back, like, that's not a hug. Like, that's a kick in the leg, dude. Like, you're out there to hurt somebody. Lex, what do you think?
I am going to say this, okay? I can see both sides of this a little bit, okay? As a first baseman, you catch the ball, okay? Your foot is never supposed to be in the middle of the bag. Jesus Aguilar's ball was right in the center of the bag. As soon as you catch the ball, you get off the bag too, so that doesn't happen. Why were you still standing there, dude? Why were you still there? But at the same time, Machado, you're out by 20 feet. You could have moved out of the way for him.
Absolutely.
But Aguilar, you can't have your foot in the middle of the bag, bud.
Yeah,
that's going to happen a lot if you do.
In Manny Machado, I feel like he's just putting a target bigger and bigger and bigger on himself. And
I think he likes the instigator role.
I think
he does.
He does, so definitely.
I think he's trying to play that role. I think he's trying to play like the instigator in the series. Make the game more emotional. I think he thrives under that, and I think that's why he did some stuff that he does.
Him and Puig work really well together. Puig's my favorite non-Red Sox player, but Puig's not kicking guys in the leg. Puig just pimps doubles.
Yes, Puig's the man, dude. Did you guys see that pimped home run in Game 7?
Oh, yeah. He pimped it, they all kind of me double sprinted, and then get a second sign to the dugout 4 or 5 times. That was awesome.
Yeah, Puig's awesome. And the thing about Puig, though, is that, like, if he does something, like, I've never seen him actually do anything that could really affect the other team. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, he's not out there to hurt dudes. He's out there to showboat. He's going to get the other team riled up just by watching him, but he's not going to slide into your leg. Mm-hmm. He's not going to try to take out your first baseman. He just does stuff that's going to get underneath your skin. And I can respect that. I can't respect Machado.
No.
I don't respect what Machado did, but I think that he is trying to be the instigator, trying to get to play a little emotional. Leighton, you better watch out for Mookie there, bud.
Do you think there's a chance?
No, that's your best bet. The best thing about you right now with Machado is that all your best players play in the outfield.
No.
Yeah.
And JD Martinez doesn't. Well,
Mookie might play second base.
oh man,
I know. I doubt it happens.
let's
but
hope not.
They're talking
Yeah,
about.
Machado will try to take him out.
It's been talked about, but do you think they bring back like the own safety base from Machado at Fenway Park?
Just whenever Machado's out there playing, like
they
whenever he
bring
comes
the
up to
orange pad?
whenever he comes up to bat, they bring that like the two bases for first. They dig it in there, and then as soon
the
as he's
safety
out,
bag.
they bring it out.
Bring the safety bag out for Machado. They're not going to do that.
Hilarious if they did that.
I feel like they should already have that.
I mean,
What age do you quit using that thing? Because it
Like
seems
10?
it kind
Like
of goes
10.
away. I never noticed it.
it's like age 10. It just depends where
So
you are, I guess.
it's the age where you realize, hey, don't stop with this guy's Achilles.
Well, and I feel like
about that age.
I feel like the reason why they don't use it is so they can tell, like if the ball hits off the bag, like at least if it hits off the safety bag, like you can kind of. It would be hard to differentiate if it's a really close play. But in the world of replay now, I feel like you could honestly just bring that back, throw it out there. You're going to reduce injuries. Like if it was the NFL and all your first basemen were your best players, just like a quarterback, they'd have a safety bag out there.
You know what? Yeah,
They 100% would.
probably. But what we're saying is Machado is like a 9-year-old.
Yes, Machado. I think he has that mentality of a 9-year-old.
9-year-old. Okay. Not
So,
something I would leave my franchise.
so the stage is set. The World Series. I saw the odds. I think the Dodgers are plus 115. The Red Sox are minus 135 to win the series. Guys, who are we giving the edge, and how do we think that this will play out?
Game 1's going to be awesome with Kershaw for sale. Hopefully, Kershaw is pushing both come back to him this game. But ultimately, Red Sox in 5.
Ooh, Red Sox in 5. I think I'm just going 7. It's going 7. I think the last few World Series have gone 7. I think this one's going 7 too. I think the Dodgers have a little better lineup than what Leighton's giving them credit for.
I don't really know, but we'll just
You said that the Brewers are better.
I think I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with the Red Sox in 5 or 6. I don't think this is gonna go 7 because if I look at both of the hitting, their lineup top to bottom, both of them are very very good, but. You look at a team like the Red Sox and what Jackie Bradley Jr. did in the ALCS, like, if you would have picked a guy that you thought was going to be the ALCS MVP, Jackie Bradley Jr. would not be on that short list of guys that you would expect to just absolutely pop off.
Yeah. And speaking of Jackie Bradley Jr., fallacy alert. Red Sox this season are 15-0, including postseason in games where he hits a home run.
That's crazy. I just everybody on that Red Sox team you have to respect whenever they come into the plate, and they can have that unsung hero moment from any guy.
Stanley Leo's gonna hit a home run in this World Series.
Like Mookie Betts, dude. The other day he got on first. He was the only hit of the inning, and he scored. He got a single.
It was a walk.
Oh, he got walked.
Yeah.
Oh, so he got on base, and then I mean that's the kind of stuff that like I don't know if the Dodgers have a guy that's going to be that aggressive and can do that. Like Mookie Betts will be the best player on the field. I think JD Martinez is even up there with Mookie Betts as being probably the second best player on the field. And then, like they have guys like Machado, Turner, he can always have a big hit. But I give the Red Sox the edge there. I give them the edge on the starting pitching even. I know Kershaw. We've seen good Kershaw. We've seen bad Kershaw. I have a feeling that we're going to see one game where Kershaw is just not that dominant guy who just goes out there and just throws a 7-inning shutout. And even if he does, he's going to be offset by Chris Sale almost every single game that Kershaw pitches. So after those aces go, David Price has got things right. Both bullpens are shaky. I would say that Craig Kimbrell, if Craig Kimbrell's on, he's the best bullpen pitcher in this series. And I don't trust anything that the Dodgers are throwing out there. So I'm giving the Sox the edge. I think it's going to be 5 or 6. I think it's going to be a pretty good World Series, though. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it, obviously. We're missing out of it.
Ton of star power.
Lost somehow. Great for
It's what the MLB wanted.
Yeah,
The only
great
thing
for
the only thing
ratings.
that they could have wanted more was the Yankees to be here. But
Yes.
They got Boston versus LA.
What they really want is a Boston Yankee World Series. That's
Yes.
not possible.
Yeah, that's
See,
what they really want.
This is setting up, boys. Okay, we got Boston, LA, World Series. And then we're gonna have Patriots, Rams, Super Bowl. And then it's all setting up for Boston versus Lakers in
And
the
you know
NBA
what?
That's
Finals.
what it is.
You know what I
First
think is
repeat.
kind of flying under the radar here is that you couldn't pick two baseball teams that are farther apart from each other. So I think home field advantage will play a pretty good role in this, which goes back to Lex's point that he thinks it's going to go 7. It very well could, with the home teams winning every game, because that's not a short travel by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, they're going all the way across country.
It's
They're
3
going
time
from
zones.
yes, 3 time zones away. I think it's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be a good series, but I think the Red Sox in 5 or 6. Lex, who do you have winning in Game 7?
I'm gonna take the Red Sox Game 7. Mookie Betts hits a home run. He gets the World Series MVP.
Ooh, all right.
I like that. That's a bold take. I like it
It is
though.
a bold take. Bold take.
I'm excited. Guys, anything else before we wrap this thing out? Anything that we should be looking for?
Jim Martinez, World Series MVP.
Leighton's Cats haven't talked in a while, so we're still alive, boys.
All right, Dippers. On that note, for Drake, for Leighton, for Lex, Dippers, as always, stay saucy.